Another year, another meat week, but this time around, there's a really good reason on why you should be farming as many Grahm Cookouts and Primal Cuts as you possibly can for the next 2 weeks. Before you get excited, no, there are no new plans, but trust me, this little method is gonna be so worth it. Real quick, if you're new to the Wasteland of Fallout 76, and if this is your first meat week, welcome. It's a fan favorite limited time event, but it's actually broken up into two separate events. Primal Cuts is the first event that I want to talk about. Primal Cuts, it occurs every 15 minutes. Two of these events spawn at 6 different locations around the map. You basically have to face 4 waves of creatures. These creatures change depending on location of the event. Obviously, if you're in a more difficult location or a higher level location, then there will be slightly tougher enemies. But if you're in the forest, you should be able to solo it no matter your level. But there are 3 waves of basic enemies, and 1 wave is a prime beast, which can sometimes be legendary. Now, the big draw to Primal Cuts and why you want to do it as many times as possible is 1, you could get a primal legendary spawn, which will drop 2 legendary weapons, and normally they're pretty good. And also, you get prime meat from this event, which can be exchanged for legendary script at the second event that comes with Meat Week, and the second event is called Graham's Cookout, which is super easy as well. Make sure you show up right on time. It starts every hour on the hour, so if you're joining a server at 6:55, wait until 7, and then boom, you will have a event pop up called Graham's Cookout. It's extremely easy. You just have to kill critters or collect greens, clean up poop, or feed Brahmin and deposit them to Grahm, and then boom, there you go. That will complete the event. But while the event's going on, make sure you turn in your prime meat at the center cooking cauldron to get that sweet extra legendary script. But again, there's a better reason to be farming Meat Week this year than just the legendary script that you could get from Prime Meat. Now, like I said, there is something that is pretty different about the Meat Week rewards this year that you can see, and disappointingly, no, like I said, it is not any new plans, but it's actually that sweet improved bait. That's right, improved bait can now drop from both Primal Cuts and Graham's Cookout. Anywhere from 1, 2, 3 improved bait can drop from each of these events because they are a public event. Improved bait can now be in their loot pool, and it basically is a guaranteed you will get a certain amount of improved bait every single time. So you could pull in an insane amount of improved bait if you farm Primal Cuts, which occurs every 15 minutes, like I said, and Graham's Cookout, which occurs every hour. So Bethesda threw everyone a huge bone with this one. If you're struggling with the fishing challenges, improved bait is your answer. Do yourself a favor and farm improved bait through this limited time event. I promise it will be worth it. Like I said, if you're struggling to catch any of the specific fish, like the piranhas or the purple radpole or something like that, I promise you, improved bait is going to be your solution. Improved bait gives you a huge boost to your a chance to catch percentage, which basically just it makes it significantly easier to run through all of the challenges. I was able to finish the fishing challenges in literally like an hour and a half, 2 hours. I think it was actually like an hour and 57 minutes or something like that on stream with using a bunch of improved bait on one of my mule characters. So it is going to be the best possible way to go through the fishing challenges. You're going to want to use improved bait. I know everyone says use common, but again, improved bait increases your chance to catch with chance to spawn at least with every category of fish: uncommon, rare, glowing, axolotls, and of course those local legends. So now is the time to stock up on that much needed improved bait, while also going after some of the other much needed plans that every player can get from this limited time event that literally will help you no matter your level, no matter what it is. And one of these items is literally one of the best weapons in the entire game. That's right, the improved bait isn't the only reason to jump on Graham's Cookout every hour. There are actually still a lot of plans that every player should 100% get. Doesn't matter what level or play style, they all come in handy eventually, and they could only be gotten during this limited time event, so don't screw yourself. Get them while you can. I promise you, it'll be so much easier if you get these at level 20 compared to if you have to wait until you're level 200. So the first weapon that we have to talk about, or excuse me, the first plan that we have to talk about is going to be a much sought after weapon, and that's going to be the Pepper Shaker. Like I said, the Pepper Shaker is by far the most sought after reward from this event, and it's for good reason. It's an amazing weapon. It's a shotgun heavy weapon hybrid that uses 3 different ammo types, or can use 3 different ammo types, excuse me. Shotgun shells, you got the fusion cells, and then the plasma cartridges, but a lot of people use it to farm the first raid boss, the little robot, extremely easily, and a lot of people just use it as one of their go-to heavy weapons because it does shred, especially in a crowd. It does do a lot of damage, and it's amazing at crippling, so if you're going up a Scorched Beast Queen, up against the Scorched Beast Queen, it's a great weapon to use. If you care about any of the plans from this event, this should be basically at the top of the list. If you get this weapon as a lower level, it can definitely really help you get through most of the game's content without really struggling at all. And it did just get a huge buff along with all pellet-based weapons, so now's a perfect time to go ahead and get the Pepper Shaker and test it out. If you've never used it before, again, it's amazing. It will help you out so much in the long run. So next up, we actually have a recipe, and that's going to be the Tato salad. And I know you're probably like, what the hell, what are you thinking about? But it can only be gotten during this event, and if you are a herbivore, it is so good. If you aren't, it increases your max HP by 30, but it can increase it by a total of 120, which is pretty insane depending on your perks, and again, if you are a herbivore. So from just eating a tomato salad, or Tato salad, excuse me, you can increase your health by 120 points. And I know on a ghoul character, it's not going to be the best because he already has such a high health. But if you wanted to throw this on your bloodied, it actually still really would help. It just this whole entire situation. It is a little bit of a oldie, but it is amazing. It definitely is pretty unique in itself, though. So the 2 plans that I highly suggest you go after, besides obviously going after that sweet improved bait, Pepper Shaker, and all of the mods that go with it as well, you have to go ahead and unlock the mods. And then obviously the Tato salad recipe is going to be amazing if you're not a carnivore. And since we're talking about unique plans that you can only get from Meat Week, I have to mention that Grahm is also a super useful vendor. He actually can spawn in without Meat Week going on, and you can find him as a random encounter somewhere in the map of Fallout 76. There are a bunch of different routes. You could Google it if you're interested, but you don't have to because you could get everything right now. He sells some serious unique plans, and I'm not just talking about those useless camp plans that no one's going to use. Again, he sells some actually useful weapon plans. The main takeaways from Grahm himself as the vendor has to be he sells the railway rifle, which is pretty crazy if you're trying to have a VATS build or if you just need a weapon to get you through basically all of the game's content. Sells plans to the Cryolator, which again, pretty crazy. Cryolator is a great weapon, especially for PvP, for the 5 people that do use it in PvP, or the 5 people that actually use PvP. And then finally, the Flamer, which is insane in itself. If you don't have the Holy Fire, the Flamer is obviously the next best thing. If you put vampires on it, you're good to go. Or if you put Bloodied on it, you have a great weapon to get you through pretty much, again, all of the game's content. All of these are extremely useful, and if you're a low level, you could walk away with the plans to like the railway rifle or a flamer for 2,000 caps, which is a crazy useful come up right now. It was so hard to get the plans for those, so you'll be able to craft them, put as many legendary mods as you want on them and everything like that with ease. So this is by far the best way to go ahead and get those plans, or you could stock up on them and sell them to people later on in the Wasteland for a quick little come up of caps. So like I mentioned before, this year's Meat Week is so special, not because of the amazing plans like the Pepper Shaker or the Railway Rifle that you could get, but it offers every single level player a solid way to stock up on hundreds of improved bait over the next 2 weeks without really trying. You won't have to complete any of the events by yourself if you're level 5. You could just join Primal Cuts while other people are there and they will help you through it. I highly suggest, no matter the level, you have to participate in as many Primal Cuts and Grahm Cookouts as you possibly can. I promise you, over the next 2 weeks, if you don't do this, you're going to kick yourself in the butt, because you're going to want that improved bait to help you get through all of your fishing challenges if you haven't gotten through them already. If you want to stack some serious improved bait, I would really suggest you hop on a server, wait for Primal Cuts to pop off, complete both of them. Yes, you can do it solo, and yes, you can complete both of them. Again, just if you have a friend, have him wait to start one before you're right as you're about to finish one, then hop over. You can complete both of them, I promise you. And again, you can get 1 to 3 improved bait per primal cut, so you can get up to 6 for just doing the primal cuts. Then run a quick 5-minute caravan. Again, you can get 1 to 3 improved bait per caravan. Once you complete that caravan, a public event should spawn. If it does, go ahead and complete it. If not, go ahead and complete another caravan. But for a public event, you could get 1 to 5 improved bait. Then simply just rinse and repeat until Graham's Cookout pops up. If you do all of this, I promise you'll have hundreds of improved bait within really no time. It's not going to take you that long. Even if you just do this for an hour, you will have an insane stockpile of improved bait, enough to get through pretty much whatever fishing challenge you're struggling on, I promise you. So if you have an issue completing any of the challenges, or catching the local legends, or catching the axolotl, or anything like that, improved bait is going to be your best chance to improve your odds without spending atoms on a weather machine, or without having to spend any of your season tickets on superb bait. I promise you, just do this, participate in Meat Week. You're going to want to anyway for all of the plans, all the XP, and all the legendary script that comes along with it, and you might as well just get what I think is the best bait in the entire game. Well, there we have it, ladies and gents of the Wasteland. We made it to the end of another Fallout 76 video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you've been struggling completing the fishing challenges, like I said, switch up to improved bait, and I promise you, you won't be struggling for too long. I know everyone says to use common bait, but you seriously can get hundreds of improved bait, and the reason why people say to use common bait is that it takes too long to farm improved bait. But if you're going to participate in all of the Meat Week events, including the Primal Cuts, to get as many prime meat as you can, and obviously to get a bunch of legendaries, and just to participate fully in Meat Week, you will be stacking so much improved bait from just participating in Meat Week every day. So you might as well just use the improved bait after these 2 weeks. I promise you will have literally thousands by the end of these 2 weeks if you just participate in as many of these events as you possibly can. Again, every 15 minutes you're getting 2 primal cuts, and every hour you're getting 1 Graham's Cookout. Fill your time in between that with public events and with caravans, and you will be stacked. But again, I feel like this year is pretty special. I feel like it was a solid addition, and because everyone is having a hard time with the fishing challenge, catching the piranha, catching the radpole, catching the local legends, it's just a lot easier if you use improved bait. So I feel like this is Bethesda kind of throwing us a bone. And as always, I appreciate you motherfuckers for watching this motherfucking video, and I will see you in the Wasteland. Go out there and farm as much Meat Week events as you possibly can.